to think history is probably the coolest story nobody really bothers telling.
Yeah.
So you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. So with that, we kind of go into it, and we just figured, like, even here you can see it. We've tried to keep the tones and the colors historically accurate. There was a lot of color back then. There wasn't uniform, you know. People didn't show up in matching uniforms. You had whatever fabric you could make an outfit out of, and it was bright colors because you dye it with whatever you could get.
Right.
So we try to keep these like earthy but somewhat easy to approach color schemes going in that kind of depicted what you saw as the Vikings and that, you know, the Celts and all that stuff. They shared a lot of different fabric stuff. So you go through it here. You've just been appointed Thane. Somebody's contested your leadership. Yeah. And obviously you have to deal with that in the way you want to. Now, because it's a role-playing game, you can lose every battle in the entire game.
Oh, yeah.
You can lose every single one, and the game will continue.
Whoa.
The game will continue.
That's pretty cool.
Because it's about the story. It's about how you deal with these different things and how you solve it, and you can make a character who's bad at fighting. It won't make the game easy for you, but you can. And obviously, there's got to be a solution for that approach. If you want to try and talk your way out of everything, you can talk your way out of everything. But
guys, let's talk this through before we beat ourselves up. Like,
but we also obviously kind of looked at it and went, well, we don't want to just have like talking be no combat. So 9 out of 10 times you can't avoid combat, but you can talk yourself into a favorable position.
Okay.
Maybe you can persuade some of them to stand down. Maybe you can persuade some people to help you.
Okay.
Maybe you can saddle up close and maybe deal with it before combat even starts. And now you have a numeric advantage. So if you're really bad at combat, you have options to turn combat to your favor. You know, you kind of turn that around somehow. And that means that you can kind of approach the game as you will. Your herdsmen, your henchmen as you get, depending on how you approach different situations, some people will join you, some people will not. They all have different things that they want, which is now a staple in role-playing games, but obviously we have it. Where if you do some choices that like fit with your more aggressive followers, then they'll like it, but your more altruistic followers won't really care for it. You'll encounter situations where you've got more of a supernatural element going on, because we don't have magic as such. We don't have like elves and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But your people don't know that. As far as they're concerned, this stuff is real.
Oh.
So you will see things in the game where, depending on how perceptive your character is, if you're really perceptive, you're really smart, if you have a lot of sense, you know, like high sense, you can kind of guess that this doesn't make sense. This can't be right. And you can kind of investigate it, and you go, no, we're all just tripping, you know.
Yeah.
Because we're Vikings.
Yeah.
You know, we're all off our faces right now. This isn't what we think it is.
Yeah. Right.
We just murdered a bunch of homeless people. Whereas if you're not, all you can see is these were the underground ones. These were dangerous foes. These were, you know, oh my God, this magic is real. Because your person is superstitious and doesn't know any better.
Maybe the player even believes in it himself at some point.
The
like
player
maybe I'm even falling for my own lies.
The player won't even be told that it's not real if their character isn't capable of figuring this out.
All right.
So you will never have that confirmed.
Whoa.
So there's a lot of stuff that we play with and that we kind of have some fun with. Now, obviously, combat here, as you see, is turn-based, going through the different actions and stuff. Outside of that, there's more of a Baldur's Gate-y approach.
Yeah.
You walk around the different dialogue options, how the world is set up, and the travel map. Where you really zoom out to like the map of Denmark and you're going between settlements and stuff like that, is almost Fallout-y, like the originals, where you kind of travel the map to locations and you go in and you do stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll camp during these times. You'll set up camp. You'll deal with your wounded, because obviously since you can lose every battle, we need to deal with the fact that we can't just wipe you every time.
Right.
But your people will get wounded. Your people will get like injured and damaged, which will affect their skills and their abilities and their morale and how willing they are to stay with you. Because if you never win, the warrior's not going to stay, is he?
No.
And why would he do that? So there's a lot of that going on. And I mean, some of these people start out as your foes, but if you can best them in combat, they'll be your friends.
Cool.
If you can't best them in combat, they'll rob you, nick all your stuff, burn your settlement, and take off. And that's it. You won't see them again. Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on, and we try to be true to the atmosphere and the period of what we were getting ourselves into. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun to deal with it, and we do here he's talking to like the village witch, And due to the superstition, she's going to be the one who can like set you up with healing herbs, and she can treat your wounds and, you know, childbirth. There's none of that in childbirth, but she would normally be the person to deal with all this stuff.
Yeah.
You need a witch to make sure that the gods are appeased and all this stuff, you know. So we built the different settlements around that. And there is some historical accuracy to how they're built, because, I mean, Denmark, we all grew up with it. We grew up with the sagas and the mythology and all this stuff. Not believing in it, but it's just part of our heritage. So we built the settlements around what they were. The capital of the times is a city called Reba, which today is just a small place, but back then it was the historical seat of power. So we built some of that as well. We got it in there, and you know, the wooden walkways and everything. And we just tried to be very true to the period. Oh, actually, this one I like. This fight here. This is one fight where you try to they ask you to make a sacrifice to let you into a tomb. They won't let you in without a sacrifice to appease the gods. And you can either go with the sacrifice, you know, you can go like, yeah, we're cool with that.
Is it one of your own people? Is that what they're saying?
Well, maybe.
Oh.
Or maybe you can find someone else, so maybe you can sacrifice some thralls. That's on you.
Gives you some options.
How you deal with this?
I like that.
Yeah, how you deal with this is up to you.
Pretty cool.
And this one...
like, we don't like that guy, Terry.
No, exactly, you know.
Like, he's been weird all day.
Terry.
Like,
never carries his weight, eats too much, you know.
Come here,
God.
Terry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all right.
So you could do that. Here, the choice we made was, how about we just sacrifice all of you?
Oh, wow.
That's an option too.
okay.
But there is another one, and I'm going to try and avoid most of the details, but this guy has a kid, and his kid's a bit of a douchebag.
Ooh.
And his kid's setting you up to like, I can get you access, I can get you in instead, but you've got to give me half of the gold and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, we don't really know about that, mate. I mean, you could go with that. You can give the kid a lot of money.
You can just do that if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
or you can meet him in a secluded place with no witnesses. And I mean, we had to find a sacrifice, and this guy isn't very likable, but his dad might recognize him, unless he doesn't have a head. Yes, that might work.
I think I'm getting what you're putting
so
down.
crazy.
So-
I also like the darkness and the crucial, like gory at the time. Like the time was crucial
Brutal.
back then. Like it was brutal, and you had to like make sacrifice and go with choices where you know, well, they're good for me, but really bad for you because you're going to lose your head.
Oh yes, but I'm stronger than you, and might makes right. There's not even any recognition for an alternate scenario.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we just don't deal with that. So there's a lot of that going on, and you get quite a few of these choices where you kind of have to decide. I mean, you fight people at one point, and there's even a mechanic for non-lethal takedowns and damage.
Oh, wow.
So depending on whether you kill everybody, if they're important to the story, then the outcome will carry on. You know, did you murder all his sons? Well, this guy's not really he's not going to go easy on you now, is he? No. We're not talking our way out of this problem. You just murdered his sons.
Yeah.
But if his sons kind of step up and you put them in their place, but you spare them, well, he knows they were stupid. He knows that they're all a bit screwed because you're coming for him next, you have to. So maybe he'll listen to you and plea. You know, maybe he'll swear fealty. This is an example of talking to someone and getting their guard down.
Whoa. Conversation
This is an example of talking to
conversation
someone.
over. That's how you talk. Hey, how you doing? What's up?
But this is
Vikings.
literally a conversation takedown.
Yeah.
The debate is still going. We're not in combat at this point. So depending on the skills your character has, you can do this. And here's we've shown a bit like village upgrades and stuff like that. So you can upgrade your hamlet. You can build like a marketplace. You can build a better log house and stuff like that. And these will all carry different bonuses. And here, because this looks a bit wobbly, it's because our characters are off their face. Like full on off their face. And they're going into like this tomb area.
Yeah.
And like the fumes in there are sending them into this kind of like delusional thing. And we're about to witness one of the situations in which your character doesn't necessarily know that what they're seeing isn't real. All they know is we're going into a dark place. Everything's a bit messed up. The colors are all a bit weird. The map
It's wobbly.
The map's going wobbly. And we heard a sound. And in their head now, obviously, these are the dark ones. These are the elves. These are the whatever. You know, they steal children at night.
Yeah.
So what we're about to fight doesn't look human because these guys are tripping. Now they're full on tripping. And it's up to your character to realize, can I even figure out what's going on? You know, what's happening? And setting up the combat. In this case, I'm the one playing, and I'm not having any of it. I could run in berserker style, but I'm not stupid.
Right.
So instead, I've just made a gauntlet because the tactics kind of matter.
Yeah.
They will be coming to me now and can only hit me 1 or 2 at a time, and we'll just burst them down.
Yeah.
There are support skills. Combat has a lot of this stuff. You can disengage. If you can trigger attacks of opportunity if people move within your field of attack.
Cool.
You can try to feint them. You can try to do all kinds of things. So there are a lot of different customization options for how you want to build your character. Do you want to be like a tactical finesse person? Do you want to run around the map? How do you want to deal with this?